Can you edit this out?
I'm like, I don't care enough to do that, but yeah.
Is it better if I put it to the left?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'll be starting. According to Caroline Alexander for National Geographic, the tiger population has reduced to about 7% of its normal size in the last 100 years. And 3 subspecies have already gone extinct. In Texas, hunting is considered a popular sport, and we do that to help with overpopulation, and it overall helps the ecosystem with health. And that's the same for just about any species. Every species plays an important role, and especially the tiger and their ecosystem. It helps with the health and overall diversity of the ecosystem, along with prey and predator relationships and just herbivores in the vegetation. My favorite animal has been the tiger since I was about 7 years old, and I've read a lot of books on them, and I've actually done previous presentations on them before. So today I'm going to talk about the endangered tiger. Specifically, I'm going to cover what qualifies an animal to be endangered, the cause for the tiger to be endangered, and the conservation efforts being put towards helping the tiger. As far as qualifications go, a lot of scientists rely on the most up-to-date and thorough scientific data to help base their judgments on what they would consider to be endangered. Keep in mind that there's no exact formula to figure out when an animal is endangered. It's different all over the world, depending on population and habitat and stuff like that. Many biologists consider a bunch of different factors, and according to V.C. Sousa, in the processes of in the population divergence article by V.C. Sousa, she talks about the processes that naturalists who are working in the field go through to figure out how an animal is endangered. And this is just one way of doing it. They look at the average lifespan and reproduction rates overall. And they also consider threat levels to the habitat, such as oversporting. Like in Texas, sporting is heavily regulated, so we don't kill off a bunch of animals. And things such as disease. They also talk about species interaction overall. So let's say a new species is introduced to a habitat or an environment they weren't previously in. That could negatively affect the surrounding wildlife and plants if they start destroying life that was previously there, and it can negatively affect competition overall. And some causes specifically related to the tigers, according to Erin Poor and her article, The Road to Deforestation, habitat loss has the biggest impact on the tiger's population. In some areas, the habitat is reduced so low that it's causing a rift between breeding populations, and this is just one subspecies of tigers. So, for example, the population density is a lot greater in a smaller habitat range. So tigers' habitat can be like hundreds of miles, like they can travel hundreds of miles, and now they're interacting more, and tigers are naturally elusive and solitary animals, so this is negatively affecting their relationships within each other. Another cause could be, according to Abhishek Harihar in her article Losing Time for the Tiger, one thing to be considered is delays in conservation action. So this could be due to lack of awareness and coordination on various projects. So it's not allowing them to get anything done or providing the necessary research in order to fulfill requirements and efforts towards the tiger. So this is also affecting global and regional environmental targets, and it's becoming very challenging to get anything done. Some long-term conservation efforts include technological advances. Those are being utilized more often considering how far we've come in technology. So for example, Clayton Miller's article, Review of Research Methodologies for Tigers, talks about GPS collar tracking and its history with tiger overall like data analysis. And they use this to track tigers in their important areas that they live in and how they're related to the tigers, how tigers are using this habitat, and it's helping them to keep track of the tigers and analyze human and tiger conflict and try to reduce that. So that way humans aren't affecting tigers and tigers aren't affecting humans, because a lot of humans use this to protect their livestock. They want to kill the tigers because they don't want them coming in and eating their livestock or themselves. They also do this in otherwise what would be difficult terrain. People cannot track tigers through that, so they use GPS tracking to keep track of tigers and where they're living, their reproduction, how they're interacting, and how they're utilizing their overall environment to help better conservation efforts. Today I went over the endangered tiger to help inform you better on what's going on with them. I talked about what makes them endangered, how scientists determine that, and overall conservation efforts towards improving the tiger's lifestyle. Tigers, however, are not the only animals suffering in this world, so if we help the environment, we are helping everyone. I did it in exactly 7 minutes. I'm like, that's my limit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I had a timer right there.
You're like, thank you.
I know, I'm like, why did I do that?
They're like,
You're just good at that.
I'm like editing that out.
it was good.
That was good.
Thank you.
I felt like I wasn't paying attention. And
I kind of
didn't want to make you laugh or anything, so I was just trying
No,
not
I
to.
was too focused on this, so I literally probably wouldn't have laughed.
Were you
But,
supposed to read all, like,
It's just like a guideline,
oh, okay, then that's
because I'm not
good.
supposed to like
Yeah.
actually read a speech.
No, yeah, that's a good
But,
one.
I don't know, I kind of like was zoning out. Like I feel like half the time I wasn't making any sense. I was just saying words.
How you made sense.
That's how I feel when I give speeches. I'm just like, I have like an out of body
Mhm.
experience, and then I'm like, I don't hear myself. I feel like I'm just saying words, and I'm like, am I making sense right now? I hope I am.
Yeah, I know, then it's only like, ah.
Oh my god. Anyways, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Get your grubby
I
feet
was
off
trying
my
to hide
phone, you
it.
psychopath.
We'll edit that.